everyone, welcome back. It is Annie, Joyfilled Stitcher, here on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and this is Flosstube number 9. Number 9, we are almost to double digits, yay! And today is Friday, July 12th, and we are in the dog days of summer, and we have had some warm weather here. And so, if you are new here, and I know I have some new folks who have joined as subscribers who are watching and commenting and liking, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and chatting about some stitching and some other fun things. And if you are returning, thank you for continuing along this wild ride with me. So let's do a little what's happened this week. So what's happened this week is a lot of stitching, which is really interesting because I know that last week I had talked about how I was going to move into my classroom this week, and so I did. I spent Monday and Tuesday up in my classroom and a little bit on Wednesday and got completely moved in. I think I only have my diplomas to hang on the wall, and I think that's it. I think that's all, and I have to wait on frames. Both of my diplomas broke. Frames broke in different moves, and so I'm reframing those to put in my classroom. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to pause and I'm going to insert a couple of pictures to kind of show you what the finished product looks like. I absolutely love my new learning space. I'm calling it the Think Tank. And so yeah, take a look and see what you think. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I poured my heart into it, and it's a space that is my kind of home away from home. So yeah, look at some pictures and then come back and let's talk some stitching and other things. All right, so as you can see, it's a kind of a small room. One whole wall got custom cabinetry, and it's beautiful gray cabinets. They're gorgeous. And then that room actually did not have windows, so 2 windows were added. And then I added some IKEA tables in the middle and a new IKEA desk for myself. And then the bookshelves I've had for years in teaching. So there's pops of turquoise and pops of yellow and pops of some other bright colors. And I just really love how it looks. And I traditionally only light my room with lamps as opposed to an overhead light. That's just what I prefer, and most of my kiddos prefer it too. So yeah, I teach small group, and I am kind of, my title is Learning Specialist, Elementary Learning Specialist. And I love what I do, and I love the kids that I work with, and I get the blessing of having them usually for more than 1 year. Whereas like if they're in 3rd grade, their 3rd grade teachers pass them along. I might have them also in 4th grade and 5th grade and 6th grade. So I really enjoy that part of things, and I get to build great relationships with kids. And so that's enough about that. I've also been speaking a lot, so let's kind of do another little life update. I've been talking a lot about how we were going to be traveling coming this next week to Montana for 10 days. That has been put on the back burner for right now. We had some family stuff come up, and the trip's just not good timing right now. And so I had to share that with my daughter, and so she was really bummed. But we've talked about maybe doing some other fun things this next week. She can go to camp if she wants at school. So yes, it just was not the right time. So even though I put forth, I'd actually sat down and kind of planned how I was going to travel with all my bingo pieces and all of that for Semi-Sane Stitchers. I don't really need to do that, but it's actually turned out quite nice because when the numbers get posted, I can really quickly see, okay, what do I need to stitch on? So that being said, let's chat just a tiny bit before I get into whips. I have kind of some cool news. So in Semi-Sane Stitchers, bingo is going on, and I was not lucky with numbers, and then all of a sudden, like one day I got 3, and I was like, what? And I marked them all, and it ended up being, I had 4 corners bingo. So I got the first bingo in the whole group. Awesome. And then today I had another number come up and I got another line bingo. So far bingo's been pretty lucky for me. So if you are not part of Semi Sane Stitchers, they do lots of fun games. They usually have a game per month. They've done Letter of Fortune, which is like Wheel of Fortune. They've done Monopoly, which I really enjoyed back in the spring. They did Casino last month. I did not get into that one. And then they're doing bingo. I don't know that bingo will come back before 2020. So go join and check out all their events. It's a fun group. Lots of fun admins who are over all the different games, and they make it super fun to stitch towards different tasks and things. Okay, so moving on, I have a finish. I actually have a full finish. I had a start and a finish this week. So you might have seen this floating around Instagram. It's You I Like. And this is a pattern that, or a stitching that it is Diana, it is Kismet Stitches, stitched a long time ago, and she got with Michelle at Michelle Bindi, or Bindi Stitchy, and Michelle Bindi Stitchy charted it, and so everybody has been kind of coming up with their own take on it, their own fabric and their own thread choice. So I did a full finish. This is Mrs. Sadis, or Sadis, silk in Darling, so you can see it kind of variegates from teal to light turquoise to this greeny teal. I used, this is on a scrap of Mystic Fabrics 18 count Ada. I used some trim, some light blue cotton trim that I got from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop on her eBay shop, and then some turquoise polka dot, and I mounted this. I had seen a video on that was the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Priscilla and Chelsea, where they had done one for Fat Quarter Shop for the press board. And so I saw the press board on Amazon, and I ordered some 3x5 ones just to try them out. And I used that to mount this and this, and I will say I really enjoyed working with them. And then a little hot glue. The back is not perfect. I won't be showing you the back. I mean, I'll show you the back, but it's not great. It needs some more hot glue, but I ran out. I have a Bosch. My mom bought it for me back in the day when Bosch came out with the very first like hot glue pen. It heats up in literally like 5 seconds. It's amazing. My husband has tried to steal it from me a lot, but I've lost my charging cord, and it's not a hard type of cord. I think it's the same kind that like charges my Kindle. I ran out of glue, so it needs a little help on the back, but it's the press board's holding, the sticky press board is holding this extra piece on the back until I can get some extra glue. So this was a start and a finish, and I think, I haven't decided, but I'm thinking I'm going to get just like a little cute picture stand kind of a thing, an easily type thing, and I may put this on my desk at work. I think it's a good reminder that, you know, we should like each other. We should tolerate, you know, be kind to one another. So I really enjoyed this. And I may stitch this up. I have so many great variegateds that this is a fun way to use up little bits and bobs. You could do each letter a different color. You could do this on bright fabric or plain fabric. Super fun. So head over to Instagram and find It Is Kismet Stitches, and I will link her. And she has this pattern toe, and it's a Google, and she just asked that you credit her for it, as all artists do. So that's my start, finish, and full finish. Yay! So that's another finish. And that's my first finish of July. I don't know what number that is for the year, but I'm doing pretty well. So this week I worked on a significant number of things. So I'm going to start with the things I worked on for bingo, because I think that's a good place to start. And I don't have pictures for these, so I'll just show you. So Mysterious Halloween Town, which is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I put in some stitches in B5200 and some stitches in 3806. So I'm trucking along on this one, little by little. It's going to take me some time. It will not be done by Halloween, and that is okay. And I'm contemplating actually gifting this to someone. So we'll see, because we don't really decorate for Halloween in our house. Okay, so let's see, what else did I work on? Did I work on this? No, I did not. That number has not been called. There's one number in that project, and I don't think it might not get called. And it's 3021. It's a pretty common number. Okay, so then in Hello Autumn, I put in, I believe this was this week, but when White or Blanc got called, they said it was too easy because it's in like every pattern, so we had to do 100 instead of 50. So I got 100 stitches in the white there. And then 433 was also called. I believe it was 433, and so I did some up here in 433. So that one's coming along a little bit at a time. See, I don't think I put any into that. In fact, I think that's a new start. Wizard Pusheen did not get any more. Oh, and then I restarted, and I don't know if I showed this. Okay, so I had done my Fort Worth piece. And I realized that at some point when I very first started, I had inadvertently swapped a symbol with a color. So I think like I had originally stitched the ones that were supposed to be 550 in 553, or vice versa. I think it was the ones that were supposed to be 553 I stitched in 550. So I had the option at that moment. Okay, one, it was on 14 count, which 14 count's not really my jam right now. I'm really liking 16 or 18's like this is my 18 is it. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And plus, then am I gonna flip-flop them all the way across the whole chart? Is it gonna mess up the feeling? Is it only this one small section? No, it happens to be a whole building. And so I was like, okay, my option is figure that out or just restart it. I didn't have that many stitches. Yes, I had quite a number of stitches in it, but not so many that I didn't feel like, okay, I could restart it right now. And so I had this piece. This is an 18 count that I got from somebody off Stash Unload. And she did like a pack of, these are her dyed, I think. So it's this really light kind of minty turquoisey color, which I think looks like sky, because in the back of this it's a circular. Behind the buildings it's supposed to look like sky. And I had that dark gray, and I'm like, So I went ahead and got in my 100, a little bit more than 100 stitches in 550, and I love how this is. I mean, these are some rockin' awesome stitches. I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn for just a second. They're gorgeous. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fabric and just where my stitching space, like my stitching mind space is on that day. But those are pretty good stitches. So I got some in that. So that was all my bingo stitching. And like I said, I got 2 bingos this week. I got 4 corners, which was the first bingo. And then, let me show you. So what I had decided to do is I had this project bag was sent to me with my swap. And so what I did was I pulled just my pieces, my fabric, and each one has its own needle. And then I put in a small hoop, because if I'm only stitching about 50 stitches, you know, it's usually in a small compacted space. I try to do those. I mean, I didn't try to do like cross country across the whole piece. And then what I did was I took a piece, I took floss away, and then I took a piece of index card, wrote the title of the piece and what numbers I was, if it was called, I would stitch with, and then I took 1 length of DMC, you know, 1 yard-ish length, and it's way too much for 50 stitches, but I wanted to make sure. So like, here's Fort Worth. And this was the reason why I chose to restart, is Fort Worth, because it's so DMC heavy, it has 5 numbers for it, and only 1's been called. Or no, yeah, only 1's been called. So, I did that for each, and then I put all my flossaways on a ring, and they're in here, which actually has been kind of nice, even though we're not traveling. I now have this, and when the numbers get called and I look and see if I have them, I can pull, and everything's right here. So this has kind of been a neat idea. So I don't know if we do something like this again, or if the groups do, I can have my little bingo bag. Okay, so last week when we last talked, I think I was finishing up homework and had worked on some extra credit. I think that's right. So I ended up doing an extra credit task, and this was the one for a portrait. one that has a portrait. So I decided to use, this was one of my Strawberry May starts. This is Lila's Studio Dinah's Garden Strawberry, and so it had to have a person. So it has this cute gal, I guess her name is Dinah. So I worked on this. Hold please. So sorry folks, I had to let the dog in because he barks when he's inside wanting out and barks when he's outside wanting in. High maintenance. Okay, so as I was saying, this was for one of the extra credit tasks that I worked on over the weekend before homework was released. This is on a 14 count Ada. I believe it's a Silk Weavers that I got from somebody's D-stash on eBay. And so I put in, and this is stitched in all the called for, which are Classic Colorworks. I love working with Classic Colorworks. It's kind of becoming one of my new favorites of like the top 3. And so this is where I've gotten to. I added in the strawberries, this big strawberry, which I'm obsessed with, and started in on some of the green detailing in the border and then some down here as well. So I got 500 stitches in that. And this one is in, and this is in Ray of Light, I believe is the color of this fabric, just in case you were curious. This is in a pouch with some cute fabric that I found on an Etsy shop when I was kind of in my fabric buying phase. That's got just some tiny little cute strawberries, and it's teal, and it's got some, might have helped if I showed it the right way. It's got some pink and white check. Oh, and I will say, I noticed that a couple of you really would love to see me do a tutorial on pouches, thinking that's something I might take care of next week. So stay tuned for that. It'd be a special edition video. So this week for homework, we were asked to look at our WIP album. We had to have our WIP album updated in Magical Stitches before July 1st. And so I figured homework from the WIP album was coming quickly. Let me put this back. This is my picture. I decided to get a little low tech and have a picture in my pouch with me, because that's helpful when I've been stitching in public a little bit more and people are like, hey, what are you working on? So you had to pick 2 of your 2 WIPs from WIP 1, WIP 2, or WIP 12. Obviously, if you didn't have 12, you had to do WIP 1 and 2. If you didn't have 2, then there were some other stipulations. I have 15, I think, so I was good with the 1 and 12, and that was what I picked. Actually, let me think, what is this? Oh, this is another pouch. That was Hello Autumn. I don't know why it was in my bucket, because it's over there. So my number, I chose to do number 2 and number 12. Number 1 is Mysterious Halloween Town, and I didn't want to get into that because it's kind of sitting for bingo right now. So thankfully 2 and 12 are not bingo pieces. So for number 2, that is Spring Acorns, the blue flowers Spring Acorns. This is one of my favorite to stitch, and every time I stitch it is getting more and more so. And this is an I Love You More Studio Co pouch. I can't remember, this one's like Nutty or something like that, and it's a Tula Pink fabric with these cute squirrels, chipmunk squirrels. So I got it was 500 stitches, so I got 500 pretty awesome stitches in this, and so far it's looking pretty good. I'm loving it. And this is on a Picture This Plus 16 count Ada in Heartland, which was, this was my market day start. And this is in all the called for. And I finally got to add in some of this, I think this is Raspberry Frost. It's really hard to see, but it's this really pretty like dusty rose. And that was the first that I got to do of that. And then I love how this is just precise. So awesome. Such a fantastic design. I am so happy that I've gotten some more time in this one because I just love it. So I got another 500 stitches in this, which is fantastic. So it's still got a ways to go because I think all the points get filled in. Look at my picture. Yeah, all the points get filled in Then you've got more of these kind of strawberry acorn details up at the top corners. And then you have these little pairs of squirrels. I'm excited for those. And I love the finish with the little chenille. So that might be an idea on how to finish. And I don't know if I'll do it as pillow finish or not. I'm sure. Not quite sure. All right, and then, excuse me, number 12 is Snowflakes and Buttons. And then this is by an Etsy shop called Punochka, I believe. And she has a very specific aesthetic. And I love it. It's very kind of open looking. And so this is the mock-up off of Etsy. So you can see it's got cool snowflake patterns and then the buttons. And so I am working with 2 flosses. The snowflakes are all in this Victorian Motto Ice Blue, which has a equivalent of $37.53, I believe. And then I am working with a mystery. This was a Little Orphan mystery from Ship's Manor. All of the buttons are in this pretty blue. It kind of reminds me of Calypso blue that's in my Bluebird project. This is on an 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. Figure out which way is up, which way is down. And I'm trucking along on this. There's actually not too, I mean, it seems like there's not much more, but there's really, I think there's a small motif down here, and then there's like a half page over here. So there's not too much more. I have a ridiculous piece of fabric for this. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm loving the detailing on this. So far, I think it's really hard to pick a favorite snowflake, but I really liked this one, and I love this one. But I love them all, and I love how the variegation in the buttons too, from that blue from Ship's Manor. Just subtle, not like too out there, but I love it. And this is in a project bag with some fabric I also found off of Etsy. I love these little birds, these jaunty little birds with scarves and earmuffs and hats and cuteness. So that was homework, and I think I was done with that by yesterday, maybe? Thursday? Wednesday? I'm not sure. So then I decided, okay, I need to spend some time on some extra credits, and I have accomplished 2. Now, granted, I was at the hospital all day today, sitting and waiting for a very long time. So I got one whole one accomplished today. I accomplished 1 yesterday, and then I've already gotten about 200 in another one. So I'm trucking along, which is good because I really want to get some time into some year-long tasks. So for the task, which is stitch in a flame color, which is red, orange, or yellow, and you have to pick one and stitch like all of it in that one color. I'm using Alforce Embroideries Carrot Forest, and I only chose to do the bright oranges. This actually looks orange, but it's yellow in the mock-up, and so I didn't want to kind of like have that back and forth. I just was like, you know what? I've got 500 stitches in the dark orange because most of the carrots are orange. So this is a fair bit of progress, and I have this one slated for another, extra credit, and it's going to end up being some of the tops of the carrots I've stitched. So it's going to really come along this month and next. So this is where it's gotten to, and I'm stitching this, I believe this is a 14 count, yeah, a 14 count Aida, and I believe it's Opal, and this is one I got off of 1-2-3 Stitch. It comes as a kit with linen, but I am not a linen stitcher. We have discussed that at length. And it comes with the flosses, and it comes with these cute little cardboard bobbins with the symbol printed on them, and you can wind them. The flosses come on a hank, and you wind them. So this is the other orange color. This one only has 5 colors. A dark green / brown, so it's a variegated green-brown, a light green, the orange, the dark orange, and then this lighter orange. So yes, and then it also came with, the flosses, the floss cards. It came with the fabric, but I chose to swap out for Aida, And then it came with a needle, but it's not the size I use. I gave it to my sister-in-law. And then it came with this really cute carrot needle minder, which is exceptionally strong. So when I get done with this one, I will then decide which kit I will be doing next, which is going to be really hard because there's some really good ones on the website. And I've also seen that McKenna over at 1884 Stitchery has been carrying them. I know she's out of a lot and she has some on order. So I will also watch for her because I think it would be, I ordered directly and I did not have a problem. So do not get me wrong. But I do want to also support shops too. So, that was another extra credit. So yeah, another one checked off my list. I think that made 3. I think this one made 3 actually. Okay, so for the task that was birds or feather, I'm using my Bluebird Sal from Ship's Manor. And this one's actually slotted for another one, as is Carrot Forest, as is Dinah's Garden. I kind of picked like 5 projects and tried to make them fit into 2. And then I'm stitching them in kind of a rotation. So I said, okay, this is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And then I go back to the first one. So to not get burnt out on any one project. And I'm trying to like be a little thoughtful with it. This is on, this is in a pouch. This is in my Bluebird Batbird pouch. And there's a little story behind that. You're welcome to go back and check out previous videos for the Bluebird Batbird. So yes, I have made some progress on this. This is on a 14 count. And it's so funny, I said, I started a lot of these on 14 count. Well, more than anything, I started this on this piece because this piece matches a lot with what Eric had presented in his model stitch. I'm loving this so much, and it's not really showing so well, but this bird cage, I finished that out to start my stitching. I have my first bird, a light blue bird, and then some kind of cool motifs. This motif's not quite finished, so I have one more task for this one, and I think with that task I'm going up this way. So this is going to be a fun project, and I actually have a turquoise frame I found at the thrift store that I think this is going to end up in. So we shall see if it ends up there. I'm thinking it's the right size. So I got that one done today. And then I started on, and I don't have it in, actually I do have it in here. I started on my next extra credit task. I'll go ahead and show you. This is my custom color conversion of Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. So this is the original mock-up. And if you will go back to one of my other videos, you'll see how I'm completely color converting it and making it wild and crazy. So I'm currently working through this house. This is a Victorian motto, kind of a navy blue color. The last time I had done a task, I had finished some trees in this orange house. So, and this is in a crazy Christmas tree pouch. This is some fabric from my stash. That's it for WIPs. I accomplished a lot this week. Okay, so next will be the little bit of stash that I accumulated, which turned out to be very fabric heavy this week. Not completely, but kind of. Okay, so the first thing that I got, I'm trying to get down in here without getting my face right up into the camera. Okay, the first thing that I got was from Ship's Manor, and it's my floss and thread of the month. And so this is for July, and I actually get 2 of the flosses, excuse me, 2 of the flosses, and I only ended up with 1 set. So I contacted him, and he's like, oh, for sure, I'm actually going to send you 2 because it'll be a different dye lot, no big deal. And I said, please don't rush, I have nothing slotted for these. Send them with my August. And he's like, I might try to get them to you first, sooner than that, but if not, yes, it will be in August. That's not a good idea to put on there. I need something white. I don't have anything white, so I'll just use my hand. So there's kind of usually one that's more of a, like a solid, mildly variegated. So that's this blue, this really pretty blue. And then the kind of more brights is a really pretty pink yellowy combo. So I think it's really cute. As you can see, I'm back in my stitchy spot today. My dining room / sewing room is an absolute wreck. I could not even like get in there today. We've been in the process of organizing, reorganizing. I cleaned out my closet last week and ended up with like 5 bags of stuff to donate. But a lot of it's because I've lost some weight, and so that's good. All right, and then I get the Prim fabric. So this is my July Prim. This is in a 16 count Aida, 13 by 18 piece, and this really pretty blue, and that is not doing it a very good justice. It's kind of a real pretty cornflower blue. Let's see if I put that white tag in there, it'll pop it the right way. Well, that's pretty good. Not great, pretty good. This actually reminds me a little bit of the fabric that came with Needle Dance, which is a linen, which I will not stitch on. So I had already pulled a real light, like robin's egg blue from my stash for that. And I put the, I was like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this could be perfect. I put it on there and I was like, I like what I pulled better. I think this would be awesome, but I liked what I pulled better. So I'm going to find something fun for this, but for now it's another great piece, a substantial, it's a pretty good piece for the size projects I currently work on in 16 count. So yeah, that was a cutesy, good piece, and I like that kind of everything went kind of together. We had some kind of goodness here. Let me just make a big old mess. Goodness. So yay. All right, so then fabric. I played some fabric games. Said I wasn't going to, did it anyway. And I also had placed an order. So you know my love of Mystic Fabrics. Misty is a fabric dyeing genius. She is on, she's in Facebook. She's in Facebook. She's in the Facebook. She's on Facebook, and she put up on her site, she has a website too, but she doesn't put much up there. She lets you know when she can put stuff up there. Well, let me first tell you, when something arrives in a mailer like this, you know it's gonna be phenomenal. Or like, you hope that it's gonna live up to this amazing holographic mailer. Did not disappoint. She put up on her site a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a couple of weeks ago. She's testing the waters on her site. She put Needle Dance Kit up on her site as like the first water testing. So I bought. I was like, I'll be your beta tester. Even though I was like, just give me that kit. And then she put up Galaxy Fabrics. You know how I said like, when Aurora showed up, my fabric of the month last time, I was like, shut up. Oh, no. This one was like, shut up. Like times 1,000. Hold the phone. This is an 18 count opal. I feel like I need the da, da, da. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Oh my word. Oh my word. I don't even know. I just think I feel like I should like frame this. Okay, I need an 18 by 21 inch frame and just frame it. Like, how do I do this piece of fabric justice? Like, really? So, not that I want any competition in the fabric games, but I can't not. That is so a double negative, but I've lost my words. I cannot neglect to share the amazingness that is Misty's Fabrics. I mean, genius. So now, what does one stitch on the most incredible Galaxy fabric? I feel like it's got to be something like truly spectacular, or something completely like opposite, like So let me put this. I mean, I'm tempted to like have this stay in here until it's ready to be stitched because like it kind of fits. Okay, so that was something fun. All right, so then I also competed in the fabric games. She had, this past week, she had reposts, she had fabric of the month, she had half off pieces. Wait till you see what I got for $9. And $3 off pieces. Yes. So, this is my $9 piece. $9. And this is a 16 count. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, rip, 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 rip. No words. $9. $9. 18 by 30. 18 by 30. That's like 3 projects for me, at least. Okay, maybe not that many, but a lot. 16 count needle. In a neutral. I'm just blinking because we're no words. $9. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful, I mean, that is a beautiful, gorgeous, neutral piece of fabric. It almost has like some pinkiness to it, some tanness, some creamness. I don't know what. I don't know what. Actually, I have an idea of what, but it's maybe not enough. I'm going to be doing 2020. I've been wanting to do like a monthly something. And so I've been collecting Square Dance because I love Square Dance by Heart and Hand. And the next one's coming out soon. But I do think I want, with all the variety of colors, I do think I want something more neutral. So something like this could be good. But I don't think I have enough. They're going to be about 5 by 5. But I'd need a little bit, like that would be finished. No, maybe they're finished like 3 by 3. So, be close. Might work. Ooh, it might just be enough. My math is a little broken too. So my words are a little broken, my math is broken. So not only did I get that, and mind you, Fabric Games went up at 11. We normally go to church at 9 on Sundays, and we're done by 10:15. And during the school year, when there's Sunday school, I stitch in my car while I wait on my daughter to get done at Sunday school. And if there's not like a program that I want to participate in. So usually I catch Fabric Games at 11, right before I go grab her from Sunday school being over. This past Sunday, Fabric Games at 11. No. Maybe Fabric Games were at noon. I think they might have been at noon. And one of our dear, dear, dear friends, her grandbabies got baptized at church at the 11:15 service. So we went to church at a different time. Let me tell you how that threw my whole morning out of whack. I didn't know what time to get dressed. I didn't know what time to get my daughter dressed. I didn't know what time to leave. I am a creature of habit and routine. It's kind of like I'm filming this video later because my daughter is actually home tonight because of all the brouhaha today. Yeah. So this one's probably going up later than usual. Or later than it has been. Alright, so back to some Misty mail. Oh, and by the way, I got Starburst in my package this time. Okay, so this week was the repost. I didn't apparently open and fold these down, so I apologize. Usually I do a little more prep with my packages so we don't have all the rip. So a lot of pastels this week, which I'm kind of needing because I've gotten a lot of brights from her. So I'm loving the idea of some pastels. So I got this one, bluish gray, a little bluer than like the gray shirt I have on. And that's an 18 count and an 18 by 29 inch piece, so a fat quarter. Sorry, more ripping. Oh, and the sticky got stuck on the wrong part. Hold, please. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. And I got this one that's more green gray. So to show you, because they look basically the same until you put them side by side, and then you see blue gray, green gray, blue gray, green gray. Awesome. So anyway, it was a good fabric week for me. I really got to slow down on the fabric. But when I see them, I can't not. And I will say, it's by far my favorite. Right up there. I've also really like the Under the Sea fabrics that I'm stitching Prairie School or Tree Farm on. That's an 18 count Ada. That was one that I got when she did her mystery ones, but you had to wait a while for them, but that's okay because they were at a phenomenal price. I just, like at the end of May, Crazy Annie's did a Picture This Plus sale. So I ordered, I think, 4 pieces from them of Picture This Plus Ada. So those will be coming at some point. I got a couple of neutrals and a couple of other ones. I can't even remember what I ordered. I have it in my email, obviously. But like, I'm kind of excited. That'll be like a surprise. And then I also found out Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie is going to stop doing at the end of this year her fabric of the month. But I can't remember what the company is. Needleworks? I don't know why I'm thinking Needleworks. Somebody, I saw it posted somewhere, is doing a year of her fabric. And so you got to pick your cut. I think the deadline was maybe one day this week. I took care of it like last month. You pay for it each month and you get shipped one of the fabrics in your cut. And you already kind of know what the colors are going to be. There was a whole picture of it. And on your 12th month, you get another piece. So it's 13 pieces, a baker dozen, for the price of 12, I believe is what the deal is. And so I'm excited about that because that'll be something kind of exciting. I'm doing that as kind of an early birthday present for myself. My birthday's not till October. Whatever. Oh, okay, so last week I talked about how one of my stitchy friends shared that she was the one that went pss, 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 in Messenger on Instagram and said, P.S. Color and Cotton has their grab bags up, floss grab bags. And I was like, yes! And I was like, no, I don't need to buy anything, but I'm gonna go look and see if they have any. They did, because you know, yeah. So I bought 5. 1 can't travel by itself. 2's just a pair. 3's a trio. You need like 4 or 5 for a true group. I mean, to like maximize your shipping costs, right? Right. And then I was like, well, while I'm on here looking, do they have any fabric grab bags? Because the last time I tried to get fabric grab bags, they were gone in like a hot second. But I guess they posted them late, and then I don't remember seeing anything actually on their Instagram like saying, hey, we have grab bags. So they had 8x8 grab bag and an 8x12 grab bag, which are great like ornament cuts or, you know, smaller pieces. So we'll start with that. So they had it as Adas. So you had your mystery Ada, 3 pieces of an 8x8, very, very reasonably priced. They're not pressed well, but that's okay. So I got, this looks to be a 14 count in a real pretty pale yellow. So this is an 8x8 piece. This, I believe, I'm trying to deduce, this is a 16 count, I believe. And this is in a pretty kind of, it's got a fuzzy on it. Khaki kind of color. Rusticy color. And then I'm a sucker for grays, and I believe this is an 18 count in a pretty gray. So it'll be fun to find something for that. My gray stash is growing. But I like cooler tones versus warmer tones. I mean, you can probably see that from my classroom pics. Is I like those cool tones. Okay, so then my 8x12s, I got different cuts. Actually, I got one I think that looks similar. Maybe a shade darker. And I believe I have my little measuring thing, but I don't have it with me. I think these are 16 and 18. Couldn't be for certain. So these are 8x12. They're not serged or anything. So I got this, I think is very similar to that other piece that I just showed. These need to be pressed. That one does. This one not so much. This is a real light blue-gray. This one's actually serged on 2 edges. So that one's pretty. And then I got this this is a light peachy cream with some deeper tones down here, some gray ochre tone. Not gray, green ochre tones. So that was a cool deal. Nothing real too bright or outlandish, but you know what? I have a lot of bright and outlandish, so it's kind of nice to continue to add to the neutrals. Okay, so then real quick, I'm not gonna pull these all out. They're not named or anything, and I didn't have very many duplicates. So here was one I got, and I like this one right here, this one, and this one. Wow, this whole pack is pretty good, but like this one right here, so good. And that one. Put it back in the bag. Then this one is more like a prim. Love. This one's also a little more prim. Love this one. I think I got some like this in my last grab bag. I think my phone is ringing. I'll check it in a minute. It's usually telemarketers. Another one that's a little more prim. And then this one's got some prim, but it's also got another one. I've got 2 of these and 2 of these, which makes me really happy. And I think I have 2 of this one. So that was a good deal. I don't remember what the price was, but they were reasonably priced. All right, so we're going to be on like record time today, folks. I thought I'd pass along some stitchy kindness. Taking a cue from my buddy, my Flosstube goals, who I kind of aspire to be like, and that is Michelle over at Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And I thought I would kind of pass along some charts that I had. I found somebody who was selling some magazines from Stash Unload, and I personally liked the cover image on a couple of them, and I was like, okay, for $2. And so most of those I only pulled one pattern for myself. And so there was a whole lot more in the magazine that I'm not going to stitch, and I hate to just recycle them. So if you are interested, here's kind of the deal. I am going to take these, I will trifold them into an envelope. So if like you're going to be like, oh, it didn't ship flat, it got all crumpled. Hopefully it will get crumpled in a plain envelope. I will ship pretty much anywhere. You need to be 18. Please don't say giveaway. I will delete your comment if you say giveaway. 18 is so that I can mail you something. And then use the keyword. I want to stitch the whatever. So this one I thought was pretty cute. This is a camping we will go. Now I would love to see somebody stitch this on a sweatshirt or on a bag. But I think it's really cute. It's got a little camper van, a boat, and a car. So I would like to stitch camping, and I did not mean to show you the chart. It's just one page. It's charted in both DMC Krynic, DMC/Krynic, and Anchor. So yeah. Looking to see. It's by NKS Publishing. So I would like to stitch camping. Okay, so then I have this one, and that was from, just in case you wanted to know, if it'll tell me, Cross Stitch Sampler, summer 1994. It's 14 years old. No, 13 years old. So this one is from Cross Stitch Sampler, summer 92. So this is On the Wings of Summer. And I really like that bird, and it's got some really neat variegation in there. And this one is charted in DMC and Anchor as well. It's by Crossed Wing Collection from 1988. No, just kidding. No, That's right. It's a tufted titmouse. I think. Anyway, so I would like to stitch the bird. Camping, the bird. And then this one is from Cross Stitch and Needlework, April 1997, and this is Tea Party Treats. So it has several options. It has this one. It has this one. It does have some specialty stitches, but I think those teapots are so cute in the little plates. And then it's got smaller motifs. Let me see what else is on here. So this one's got a couple of options. Yep, it's got the large motif with some of the specialty stitches. It's got the teapot by itself and then the teapot with the cups. And then as a little bonus, in case you were interested, it has some details on some ribbon embroidery on the back. This is from something different. But hey, there you go, freebie. So that would be Tea Party. Or I would like to stitch the teapot. There we go. So camping. I would like to stitch camping. I would like to stitch the bird. I would like to stitch teapot. So, it was a pretty quick one today, folks. Well, I feel like it. You never know when it gets all jumbled up together. So I hope you enjoyed the little pictures of my classroom and walking along with me with my stitching this week. And so next week I will be here on Friday. I was not sure with traveling and all of that what that was going to look like, but I will be back on Friday to chat with y'all again for Flosstube number 10. I didn't even realize that. That's awesome. Flosstube number 10. So if you have made it through 10, bravo for you. Bravo for me. I will say that I was watching another fun Flosstuber and they had mentioned, hey, if you have not set up a playlist of all your videos, do so. So I have done that, and I've put them in order. I think I actually put them in number order, and then I put Whip Parade first. My Whip Parade has a lot of views. I love me some Whip Parade, so I totally get people who watch Whip Parades. I will not probably do another Whip Parade until the end of the year, and hopefully by then I will not have more than I do now. Which means I need to be finishing some things because there are things I want to start. Like, a lot of things I want to start. It's a little overwhelming. I want to start it all. You know, I'm looking like at Vicky, head mistress of Magical Stitches, and I think she's talking about doing year starts next year. Like 366 starts. I don't even have that many, and I don't have that many kitted up, but I do have a lot of things I'd love to stitch. So, I'm not going to do, I can't. I'm already feeling like a little bit of anxiety about, I think I have like 26 right now. And I think I have a little bit of anxiety. And then, you know, of course I start cutesy things like this and finish it in one day. All right. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Have fun stitching. Get some great stitching in. Many blessings and all the stitchy best until we chat again. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.